In this video, we're going to look at proving identities in hyperbolic trig. So this really matches what you will know about proving identities with standard trig. A typical exam question might ask you to prove an identity and then use it to solve an equation. It's the same thing here. Usually, our method of proof involves breaking our functions down into exponentials. There are other ways, and we'll talk about that as well, but let's take a look at this. Prove that cosh of a plus b is cosh a cosh b plus shine a shine b. Now you'll notice that these are uncannily similar but not exactly the same as the standard trig identity. So for instance, cos of a plus b is cos a cos b minus sine a sine b. Talk about a little rule you can use later to make it easier to bridge the two. Now, in this proof, I think it's going to be much easier to start on the right-hand side. And the reason for that is if I start on the right-hand side, I'll get a bunch of e to the a's and e to the minus a's and e to the b's, and then I can just multiply them together. And hopefully what I have popping out is just that left-hand side. So I can say the right-hand side is, well, cosh a is e to the a plus e to the minus a over 2. And then cosh b is e to the b plus e to the minus b over 2. And then plus shine a shine b. So shine a is e to the a minus e to the minus a over 2. And shine b is e to the b minus e to the minus b all over 2. Okay, I think we can just multiply out this whole thing and see what we get. Well, I'm going to get e to the a times e to the b, so that's e to the a plus b. Then I've got e to the a times e to the minus b, so that's e to the a minus b. And then I've also got plus e to the b minus a. And finally, I've got e to the minus a times e to the minus b, so that's e to the minus a minus b, and all of that is over 4 plus, and all this is going to be over 4 as well. I guess I could have done that all in one fraction, but here we go. E to the a times e to the b is e to the a plus b. That's good. I can connect that with this one. Then I've got minus e to the minus a times e to the b, so that's minus e to the b minus a. That's great. That's going to cancel with this. Then I've also got minus e to the a times e to the minus b, and that's e to the a minus b. That's going to cancel with this. That's good. And finally, I've got minus minus, so plus e to the minus a minus b. Lots of this cancels, and what we end up with is these two cancelling, that one and that one, and that one and that one. So it's only the outer ones that actually survive. So I've got 2e to the a plus b over 4, and I've got 2e to the minus a minus b over 4. So I guess I won't skip too many steps. It's 2e to the a plus b plus 2e to the minus a minus b all over 4. Dividing top and bottom by 2, I have e to the a plus b plus e to the minus a minus b, and what is that? All over 2. That is, by definition, cosh of a plus b, because this is just cosh of x if x is a plus b. And we're done with that proof. So if you're given these proofs, do think carefully about which side you start on. It can be easier to start on the side with just single values like a's and b's and not the a plus b's. How about this? An equivalent of a double angle. Well, if a question doesn't tell you to use the definitions, right, the definition of cosh, we can use known identities. For example, if we wanted to prove this, well, I could just use this identity here, but have it as a plus a. So let's do that. Cosh of 2a is the same as cosh of a plus a. Now, using our identity that we just did previously, that is cosh a cosh A plus sine A sine A. And that's literally just spelling out this identity where the B is another A. So that gives me cosh squared A plus sine squared A. Now I'm aiming for something that has only shines in it and no cosh. But remember our identity. Our identity is cosh squared A minus sine squared A is 1. So I can convert that cosh squared A into 1 plus sine squared A, meaning we've got 1 plus 2 sine squared A. It's the 1 plus sine squared A plus another sine squared A, and there we have it. So there's the cosh double angle. Now let's pause and think about the connections between what we've seen here and what we see in standard trig. Notice that this result was the same as standard trig, except that what would have been a minus was a plus here. And what we had here is the same as the result for cos 2a, except the minus that we expect is a plus here. So what's the rule? Well, the rule is known as Osborne's rule. So Osborne's rule is this. It says if you take a familiar identity from standard trig, if it has a sine squared in it, or an implied sine squared, we'll talk about in a moment, you can replace that with a minus sine squared, or implied minus sine squared in hyperbolic world. What I mean by that is take cos squared x plus sine squared x equals 1. In hyperbolic world, you just replace that sine squared x with minus, that sine squared x with minus sine squared x. So it becomes cosh squared x minus sine squared x is 1. Similarly, for a cos double angle, for instance, we have, say, cos of 2x. Well, we've got a few versions. For instance, we've got 2 cos squared x minus 1. In hyperbolic trig world, there's no sine squares there, so this result stays the same. Cosh 2x is 2 cosh squared x minus 1. That one stays the same, but cos 2x can also be written as 1 minus 2 sine squared x, and as we've just seen, this results in the identity in hyperbolic trig that cosh 2x is 1 plus 2 sine squared x. What are some other identities that we know? Well, take the sine double angle. Sine 2x is 2 sine x cos x. Well, there's no squared sine term there, and that means that sine 2x doesn't change. It's 2 sine x cosh x. Now I said either a sine squared x or an implied sine squared x. Well, the implied sine squared x is basically tan squared x, because remember tan squared x is sine squared x over cos squared x. So take, for example, the tan double angle formula. We have tan 2x is equal to 2 tan x over 1 minus tan squared x. Well, what does that imply for tan 2x? Well, the tan x doesn't have a squared sine term, it just has a single sine term, so we leave that alone, but change it to hyperbolic, 2 tan x. But that tan squared x is really sine squared x over cos squared x. So Osborne rule kicks in, that sine squared becomes a negative sine squared. So instead of 1 minus tan squared, it's 1 plus tan squared x. So this is a shortcut you can use, or at least you can help you remember these identities. Any trig identity that you know that features either a sine squared x or basically a tan squared x, you just replace anything else with the equivalent hyperbolic, but replace the tan squared with a minus tan squared, and sine squared with a minus shine squared. So a useful little rule you can use. Okay, let's leave that there and we'll look at some more identities in the next video. So see you there.